What up? It's your girl Nia, and let me say, it's been a minute. It's been a minute, and I really gotta get this whole YouTube thing together. But you know what? Anyway, we here now. Hi, and this is a post radiation cancer update. Want to go over the side effects of everything that I've been experiencing. So let's just sit down, have a conversation, and I'll go over the timeline. So, I got out of radiation April 1st was my last day. It was 6.5 weeks of proton therapy to my head, neck, and spine. And coming out of that, really the only thing I had experienced was the hair loss. And so coming out now, I was like, who gonna stop me? No, but really, because I was like, all that stuff he talked about, my doctor talked about, oh yeah, other people, fatigue and everything. Yeah, that didn't get me. I was like, who gonna stop me now? But so then I was good for so long, and I actually had an internship with a non-profit organization, and I'm just gonna be real, it was very time consuming, but I mean, it was a great experience. So happy I had the experience. So now I can say that I did that. So then that was good. So now past radiation, working it out. I'm working this internship, I'm getting it, and then bam, I crashed. The fatigue set in like nobody's business. Okay, and I mean, like, I went from hating naps to napping 4+ hours, and then still having a regular sleep schedule at night. It was like, what? Huh? Yeah, and so that lasted about 2 weeks, and within those 2 weeks, I had a loss and gain of appetite. Yeah, it was really kind of all over the place. And so then I also had double vision, and it would sometimes be hard to focus, like reading printed text, but most of all, it was very difficult, challenging to read digital text, like on my computer, on my phone, especially the keyboard, typing out text, and then and then also seeing the TV and then seeing things that are far away was getting difficult. So again, I said the light sensitivity, and then getting more into the physical things before, like I said, where pediatric cancer, where that tumor was, affected the coordination and balance and everything, but now it seemed kind of to be coming back, and off balance gait and coordination, and like it would be making turns or going through the doorway and then making the turn, and then I would sometimes make too wide of a turn, and then I would hit my side on the door, or too tight actually, so not gauging enough room, and then also going up and down the stairs. So like regularly I would run up and down the stairs, and I was totally fine with that. And then so I would notice, I first noticed it going down the stairs. So I would have to take slow steps, holding onto the rail, everything. And then definitely I couldn't see myself. I guess I had difficulty running up the stairs. I guess the strength wasn't there. My legs move quickly, stepping. See, yeah, and so that was for the coordination. And then the dizziness. Also, there was a dizziness aspect of it, and I would get lightheaded quickly. I would just, getting up from bed or something like that, and I would get lightheaded, and I would have to stand and wait for a second for everything to calm down. But then sometimes I would actually have to sit back down, or it would make me tired. We are now 8 weeks out from radiation. Happy to be here. Happy to be here. I should put in applause and be like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So actually, now it's story time. Get all the children, not the children, children, sit them around in a big circle, and I'm going to tell the story of my MRI. This MRI is something I've never experienced before. Okay, so it wasn't going to the big hospital. It was going to the little outpatient around here and around my house, that's closer to my house. And so 2 things were supposed to happen. 1, genetic testing. Well, not actually the testing, but taking the blood for the testing. So, and then the MRI. So just if anyone doesn't know what an MRI is, MRI stands for magnetic magnetic resonance. Yeah, magnetic resonance imaging. And so I'm gonna show a picture, but it's basically like this big tube, this big magnetic tube, and you go in and it just takes pictures and imaging that, x-rays are so yes, in MRI, images are used in the radiation field, but x-rays, I think it's a greater degree of radiation to the point where it goes down to see just bones purely. I don't know. I really can't. I'm gonna stop talking about that because I'm probably making all of the people in the medical field like, Nia, really? But anyway, so went in for the blood work for the genetic testing. So went in, and so we signed in and everything, and it was actually, sitting, waiting a long time. Well, yeah, it was a long time. To call their name so they could just take the blood real quick. And that's the thing. So, okay, when it finally got called, and I went back there because my mom signed, not allowed because Corona. But, so sitting back there, and there's a thing, well, I'm not going to show you my veins, but this vein on my arm is way bigger than this vein. And this vein, like, just it's right at the top. Ain't no digging for it, no nothing. So I told her that. I told her, oh, this vein is bigger, so this should be used instead. And so she was like, okay. And then she took it, and then it was really interesting. She didn't use a Band-Aid. She used like a pad, like, just a little pad to cover up the hole. And then, she used like gauze tape and like did my whole arm. I was like, okay, are they having a Band-Aid shortage or I don't know. So anyway, so then they told us, okay, you're all good. Go next door for your MRI. Okay, we go next door, check in. And so I'm going back and I'm walking back, and she's like, how you doing? Happy conversation. I'm good, And so, I get dressed, I'm in the gown and everything. And, my mom came back to that point with me. And so she asked the nurse, oh, how long is this going to take? And the nurse says, 1.5 to 2 hours. And we were like, what? Huh? Who? Like, you remember the meme? And I was like, so, yeah, no, I had never, ever, isn't that a song? Ever, okay, but I had an MRI that long, and literally, it was, because it was head, neck, and spine. I haven't really ever gotten head done before. So, yeah, I was like, so, now that technology has evolved, they asked me to pick out 2 movies. And I was like, okay. So, went through the portfolio of all the movies I got. And so I picked Cheetah Girls and Imagine That. But before I could go in, there was one thing that needed to happen first. I need a shot. Not just a shot, but I don't know. And then again, terminology, I don't know if IV is right, but needed one, because they had to put contrast in the middle of it. So I don't like shots. I really don't. I don't like needles. I really don't. My mom would say, like, when pediatric, like when this all was happening, multiple people would have to hold me down. I mean, multiple people ain't gotta hold me down now, but that don't mean I like it. So, I asked her, so one, because I told you about my veins, that this one is way bigger and it's more visible. So I asked her, one, I was like, can you just, I don't know, like, take it from this arm? Can you stick the needle back in where it was? No, I didn't say that. But, yeah, so I asked her, and she was like, oh, no, but it shouldn't be that bad. It shouldn't be that bad. And then she looks at this arm, and she's like, oh, yeah, And I was like, okay. Because it, like, the vein is kind of shaped like this, and it's kind of in the background. So the first thing that they did, and I haven't ever seen this before, is like, it was kind of like an ice pack, but it was hot. And then so they put that on the arm, and doing it. And then so she brought in another nurse. And I was like, okay. And they were like, yeah. Because really they were actually struggling to find it. They were, did the hot pack, and they were still trying to look in the arm to see it, like, I guess how to get to it instead of just so finally doing it, they could tell it was gonna hurt. Like before the process even began, they could tell it was gonna hurt because they came in and they were both holding my arm down. And I was like, oh my Lord. And then boom, bam. I mean, still, you know, had to do a little wiggling around. But it hurt like heck. And so then, you know, whew, that hurt like heck. And unfortunately, it was kind of like the needle had to be in sideways to get it, which really sucked. Because laying down in the MRI, you know, laying down perfectly still, it was hurt, like, it was hurting. It was very uncomfortable, and also it was cold in there, and also it was a very long time. And also watching the Cheetah Girls, you know that like Raven is a very conceited, like Raven's character, I think her name was Bubbles, but then she also has a very conceited, she is a, you know, very conceited character. And it was just a lot of things. And so, and actually you can ask my mom, because she ran out and she was like, okay, while you do that, I'm gonna go run out and do some groceries real quick. And so then when she finally got to one store, she was like, oh wait, I need to go pick up Nia. And so she came back and she was sitting out there waiting for me, and I still wasn't done yet. And so yeah, it was a lot. But anyway, we're here now. It's all over. It's all done with. And that was on the 13th. And I am so happy to say that when I went in to see my neurosurgeon and the hematologist on the 20th, that everything came back and it was looking all clear, looking good. And so yeah, like, if you want to say who gonna stop me now, go ahead and say it. Also, make sure to keep watching because there is a surprise at the end of this video. Yeah, so we're good. We're 8 weeks now, and yeah, so good. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you comment, click subscribe, and I'm really trying like to be consistent with these videos and schedule and publish. So stay with me. No. Ooh, I'm talking about myself. No, stay with me, please. All right. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for watching this far. It is time for the big reveal. That's right. Your girl has merch. Sort of. Well, let me tell you, this shirt is of original work. That started as a drawing, and you can see the evolution of it on my Instagram. And I first introduced the shirts on Facebook saying a portion of the proceeds will go to charity, and that is still true. But the means of production are still in question. But if you want to show some love or not, leave your thoughts in the comments and we'll see what we can do. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.